What's up guys, MeatyLock here, and today we're back in action for some Isle news. Now today is a big one. So there's a mega patch coming to normal branch, not dev branch. Everything that's been happening in dev branch is actually going to be updated in the normal game. So everything that I've talked about concerning the trike, the Rex, the Galley, the Utah, the V3 map, anything that I've talked about in the past like few weeks or just anything really that hasn't been updated to the normal game yet is actually finally coming into the normal game. So you guys can expect a bunch of animation improvements, model improvements, whatever, just sound improvements, all kinds of stuff, which is really exciting. So I know a lot of people have been asking me about this. It's finally coming, so mega update. And I don't have time to cover like everything that's changing, but if you've watched my videos and paid attention, you'll know everything that's coming. Or if you play the dev branch yourself, you know everything coming to normal branch. As for dev branch itself, what's been happening recently and what happened yesterday and is going to be happening today is they're kind of doing final touches to everything, but all the big file sizes you've been seeing when downloading on Steam has been region 3. They're fixing all the bugs, the places where you can't drink, the texture weirdness, and I guess eventually procedural foliage, but procedural foliage isn't in yet as far as I'm aware. So yeah, just major, I guess, bug fixes and changes to the map. Now, as far as creatures are concerned, Galley has gotten a big update. It has a running kick animation now and a much smoother and better jump animation, which is pretty sick. Now, the running kick doesn't have sounds yet. I think that's going to happen today whenever this video comes out. It should be coming out, either that or really soon. I think the normal kick is staying the same. So if you stand still and you kick, it's going to do the same thing. But the running like double kick thing that happens is actually pretty sick. Now, probably the biggest news of today's video is in dev branch. Whenever they updated it yesterday, they added a oxygen system. So basically what happens, the way this works is you swim. Now I actually think I was swimming with the Utah and he seems really fast in the water. I think what they've done is they made all the creatures significantly faster, or plan to make all of them faster, because the Utah seemed like a speedy little guy in the water. And every second you're in the water, you lose 1% of stamina. Now this is to counteract people that are camping in the water and camping underneath the water and, you know, trying to be douchebags. Dondi's been banning these sort of people temporarily anyways. So yeah, this is kind of coming as more of a realistic thing because we do need it, and also just to counteract some douchebaggery that's happening. Anyways, uses 1% of stamina every second. After you run out of stamina, you're gonna have an oxygen bar. Now, once your oxygen bar actually runs out, it's a work in progress bar. It looks kind of crappy right now, but I'm assuming they're gonna be updating it to be something better. Once the bar actually runs out, you start taking damage, and then you die really fast. Like I have some footage of it here. You die pretty fast. So oxygen meter, pretty cool. I mean, I think it's something we've needed for a long time. They'll probably be tweaking this just like everything else in the future, and I expect we'll see some new UI to the oxygen meter and all that kind of stuff. So expect changes soon. Anyways, like I said before, all of this is coming to normal branch whenever they do the mega update, which is going to be sweet. V3 will be fixed. All the creatures that I've talked about over the past few episodes will be in, and yeah, it should be a pretty sweet update actually. Now, as for anything else coming, I'm assuming any updates you're going to be seeing in the near future that hasn't been released to public branch yet, that comes to dev branch, is probably going to be added to the public patch. So there's probably not going to be any sort of terrain alignment coming anytime soon, at least not to public patch. As for dev branch, I'm not really sure. I think they're working on it. I don't really know anything about it. So yeah, terrain alignment will not be coming anytime soon. And as far as anything else, I'm not really sure, to be honest. Okay guys, so besides this, there's not really any sort of news. So what I'm going to talk about briefly is Rodrigo Vega. Now, at one point, he was actually a concept artist for the Isle. This is a long time ago. This is back in like 2016, 2015. He was one of the original team members. Now, in the lore, there is a Dr. Vega, and this is kind of, I guess, points to Rodrigo Vega. It's kind of like a thing, you know what I mean? He's officially in the lore. Now, the reason I find this interesting is a lot of this art was made by Rodrigo Vega, and the Doctor has signed a lot of it as Dr. Vega. So I'm kind of curious in the lore who Dr. Vega is, because he's signed a lot of the stuff, like the Tissos, the Neuros, the Hypos, you know, a lot of the stuff that we know about and have seen concept art for, he's signed it. So does that mean he oversees the projects for these things, or he helped create them, or what? I'm not really sure, but it's something that I'm currently digging into. And I think it's kind of cool that one of the, I guess, doctors in the lore is actually connected to the concept artist. You know, it's kind of like a nod to the concept artist that helped the Isle at the beginning. As for any other lore things like Dr. Chance, I still don't know much about it. Now, I have a few things that I'm working on right now, so we'll see how that pans out. But I don't really have much else to tell you guys. Now, if you remember last video, I mentioned some huge, I guess, entities or creatures that could basically eat Colossus whole. Now, these are going to be a part of the lore. I have a quote from Dondi right here that he's talking in stream chat. This is where I originally heard of it. These guys are going to be some sort of like island walkers or like Leviathan class creatures that you cannot play as. They're just going to kind of be, I guess, there in the lore. And I'm not sure if they'll ever be in the game, but they are. They're going to probably be sort of maybe just things to look at. You know, you probably won't interact with them at all. They'll probably just kind of be moving creatures that are just godlike, I guess. I don't know, man. But basically, Dondi's saying that they're huge and they could eat Colossus right here. So they're definitely terrifying. No idea where they place in the lore or what they are, though. Now, I found some stuff from way back in the day, like a long time ago, about the Cannibal. This is like from 2015, 2016, that kind of stuff. Let me go ahead and read this, but it says cannibals, unspeakably agile. These monsters are capable of scaling vast cavern expanses, leaping from tree to tree, cutting down humans with bows and spears, forming primitive tribes and taming the fiercest creatures on the Isle. We've heard a lot of people say they hated guns were in this game. Well, these guys hate guns as well. Why are guns necessary when carved bone can do just as much, if not more damage? Yeah, so these guys are going to basically be climbing walls. You know, they're going to be really creepy looking. They're going to have echolocation. They might be able to see better in the dark. They're going to be able to tame dinosaurs. All kinds of crazy stuff, man. The cannibals are going to be absolutely nuts. Now, we've heard a lot about this in the past, but the Cannibal Mounts, the way it's going to kind of work, I've actually talked about this probably over a year ago whenever Dondi and them were talking about it. It says cannibals will have the option to mount these vicious dinosaurs. As you can see, they don't use positive reinforcement and clickers to ride or tame these beasts. They use intimidation. Players must balance the brutal domination of their new creature with properly reinforcing it to obey commands. So yeah, it's going to be like dragging it down, you know, basically forcing it to be under your commands. So I guess that means you could lose control at any moment. It's not going to be something easy that just happens, and they're probably not going to stay under your control forever if you don't, unless you like keep giving it reinforcement and showing dominance, that is. But yeah, very interesting. I don't know how much of this stuff is actually going to be in the game, as this is quite old. There was also talk about ranger classes and all kinds of stuff from like way back in the day, different human, I guess, factions where rangers could possibly have dinosaur, I guess, creatures as well, which I think is kind of interesting. Now, like I said, this is all really, really old stuff. But I thought I'd bring it back up because I was going through the old Facebook and all kinds of stuff, and I just thought it was really interesting stuff. Oh yeah, one thing I would like to mention is this is a part of the lore, but we were talking before about the story of the Isle, and I said Thronebreaker is a class in Primal Carnage. Well, I was looking through the old Facebook, and apparently the Hyper Rex is nicknamed Thronebreaker. It's part of their old thing from way back in 2015. So this kind of confirms that it's not a Spino or a Hyper Spino that's in the Isle. It is actually a Hyper Rex in the Isle, which is pretty cool. It's nice to have some confirmation on stuff like this, that this is actually Thronebreaker. So we definitely know a new creature that's mentioned in those transcripts that I actually read off before. Anyways, guys, that's basically all I got for you. From now on, we're probably only going to see small changes and stuff like that, at least leading up to the mega patch. I'm not sure if they're going to finish off any dinosaurs with the new sounds or animations or what. I do know they're going to update the galley a little bit more with sounds for the double kick, but besides that, I'm not really sure. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to smash the like button, I love your faces, and I'll see you guys in the next one.